You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the longest-running Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
We're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking to my ball. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1.
Hello, Dolphins fans. The weather is beautiful and magic bands are all loaded up and ready to go. The Dolphins had a magic band that passed them right down the lightning lane, direct to premier pass to a victory last week. We loved it. We were hoping, we thought maybe there was an opportunity. There's some things to possibly pick apart in this game that we're about to get to here in a minute. But what you cannot pick apart is that the best damn place to get your Miami Dolphins and South Florida sports team apparel is at caneswear.com. I am down here in the caneswear.com command center, South Tower, this week recording. That's how expansive caneswear.com has been able to provide us with these provisions, along with providing a sponsorship for the show. Caneswear.com, the number one place. Everything you see behind me that's Dolphins, you can get it at caneswear.com. Beach towels, shirts, sweats, shorts, jerseys. It's the number one place to do so if you are so blessed to be in sunny South Florida. After you check in and pay homage to my co-host, the Baron of South Florida, Robert Burns, you could go to 62655 South University Drive, Davie, Florida, their brick and mortar location. It's a blast out there. See everybody. It's a good time. Dolphins and South Florida stuff. As far as the eye can see, caneswear.com. Number one in our hearts and in our minds and in our programs and on TV this weekend, the Dolphins getting a dub over the hapless Saints. I told you guys about Tyler Shuck. It took a while. It took to the second half, but it was getting a little spooky.
Dicey.
They're dicey in the second half. Last week we said Tyler Shuck hadn't done quite enough for us to take him over Tua. Well, that has changed because Tua came out there and laid a stink bomb out there on the field, 150 yards and a pick. He was absolutely god-awful, atrocious. Pressure rate. This is, we're getting into the metrics. Some people don't like this kind of stuff. But the offensive line graded out overall at a 67. They did very well in run game and passing game. Jonas Savanea even had a good game. I don't know if that's a federal crime to say that out loud, but I just did. So hopefully the men in black don't come for me. The offensive line had a pretty damn good game. And yet, there's still 4 sacks. Tua had a pressure to sack rate of 50%, which is, I almost said the F word, effing astronomical pressure to sack rate. If a guy got near him, he was going down. That was just, somebody should tell him it is not against the rules to throw it at somebody's feet. It is not against the rules to throw it away. Maybe we could get some of that going on in the future. Sky high pressure to sack rate. Atrocious quarterback rating of 55. But Devon Achane was there. He had the cape. He had the mask. He came busting in, saved the day. Huge rushing day, 6.3 yards per carry. Offensive line did a great job for him. Something I want to point out. This Dolphins defense, didn't thought I'd ever be saying it. The last 5 games, 10 points, 28 points, 13, 17. It's a little bit poignant. Not that anybody on this show would ever be carrying water for Chris Greer. But the whole plan for the defense was that it was going to be a top 10, top 5 pass rush, and then that would gel with everybody else who was on the defense. It has ended up being the other way around, where the pass rush is non-existent, but the rest of the players that we didn't expect anything from are playing pretty damn well. The Dolphins secondary, the corners, are actually graded very well. Minkah Fitzpatrick is the number 2 ranked safety in the league. Rasul Douglas is the number 9 ranked corner. Jack Jones is still in the 40s, but he has a respectable grade at 67. That's a good grade. The safeties, nothing to write home about, but and then we got the man himself, Jordan Brooks, out there looking like Derek Brooks, best damn linebacker in the league. Now that Fred Warner is hurt, of course, doing his thing out there. It's kind of poignant for old Chris Greer that if the pass rush had been anything close to what we thought it was going to be, this would be a pretty damn good defense. This would be almost a dominant defense if they had a top 10 pass rush on top of how everyone else is performing. They were a huge help in the win. The offensive line was a huge help in the win. Devon Achane is the man. Devon Achane, the man. That's what we'll start calling him. Devon the man instead of Devon Achane going forward. Robert, thoughts on this? Another thing that we do got to say that's coming up, and this is raw hand to you, is every week we're like, hey, there should be opportunities. This defense is really bad. It's ranked in the bottom 20. No good players. No this, no that. And every single week, it looks like week 2 of the UFL with this offense and the way these guys play. It looks like the third week of August. The way this offense looks, everything is just a fight. Every single thing that they do. So the wins are great, and you love wins, and you will take wins. There are signs of rot, and I don't know if they're going to show up this week, but I'll just say that there are very clear signs of rot inside the ship that is cruising along here. Robert Burns, what'd you think of the win, man?
I thought Tua tried to give it up. I thought Tua tried to lose that game. It's almost like Tua wants Dolphins fans to get a better draft pick, and he's trying to sink the ship at that point. And he loves the number 50, right? Like that's his salary. That's his complete his
QB rating was the same as his salary, 55. Very good. At that.
Yeah, how convenient that number keeps popping up in the minds of Dolphins fans as we watch the wins. And yeah, the wins are nice, but are they going to amount to anything, Eric? Are they really going to amount to anything? Do they really have a legitimate chance of running the table, getting to 10-7, and like the Miami Hurricanes, maybe getting into the playoffs?
They're going to amount to Michael Levy frustration.
Yes.
Tom Ernie's sleepless nights. That's what they're going to amount to.
A really nice 16th pick in the draft, which is what we've been saying is probably going to happen. But I will say it is nice to have a team that is winning, and they're winning, four of the past 5. They're going up against a Jets team this week that has won 3 of the past 4, I think. 2 of the past 3, something like that.
Yeah, and looked pretty decent last week.
And yeah, Tyrod Taylor is not the worst quarterback that you could have as a backup or now as a starter, since they've made
had a good game last week.
Had a good game. He's won 1 out of the 3 starts that they've had, so 1 and 2, not bad. And I think to this point we are at, and correct me if I'm wrong, we are at a point of saying that Tua is likely the overall better quarterback in some of these matches, but is likely to have a lesser game than some of these quarterbacks, right? Like if you're building a team, if you're building a team right now, would you rather have Tua or would you rather have Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod Taylor.
Lies.
Oh, without hesitation. Without hesitation.
You lying.
No, between contract and the fact he's not losing games for you.
I'm not talking contract. I'm talking overall ability. If you're building a team and someone put Tua and Tyrod Taylor in front of you, I think you were probably in the minority of saying you would take Tyrod Taylor. But
probably,
I think that in almost any given week, Tyrod Taylor is going to probably throw for more yards than Tua right now. Tua is more than capable of throwing for 250 yards a game. He's more than capable, but I'm saying Taylor, I mean, in most seasons, Taylor would probably be more likely to have more mistakes, but Tua leads the league in interceptions. So maybe my argument is backfiring on me a little bit as I continue to talk this out. But I think the overall talent that we have seen, because we have seen it out of Tua, it's there. It's just not there this year. And so I think in my mind, as we go through and we pick these, and maybe the listeners are probably thinking differently than I do, or maybe they think the same, that the overall better quarterback in some of these matchups, like would you rather have Jacoby Brissett or Tua? I'd rather have Tua, but Brissett's going to throw for what did he throw for? 4,000 yards 3 weeks ago, like, or 59 times, whatever it was, and still had decent numbers. Tua's not going to do that for you. So I think in my mind, as we go through these, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? There is that caveat of Tua may in some case be the better, more talented quarterback, but it's not showing this year. So you may not be able to give him or give Miami the quarterback edge, right? Like last week, we predicted Tua was not going to reach 200 yards, and he sure as hell didn't.
So
but we thought that Chuck was, and he sure as hell did.
I think what's beginning to come into question on some shows on DolphinsTalk.com, which I agree with, it's not a question. I think what's starting to come in question is what exactly were we saying those years when we say
we saw a lot of Tyreek Hill. That's what we were saying. Tyreek Hill make things happen.
That's okay. So you get where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
What exactly were we seeing? Would Tyrod Taylor have put up similar numbers in that situation? I think a lot of people would have thoughts and feelings. So all that said, who you going with
this week? Are we doing predictions already?
Yeah, unless you got more thoughts on the Saints game. Tell me about it.
Man, I don't know. Neither one of them I really like right now. I almost kind of want to push it. Neither one of them I like.
Last week,
Taylor had a good game last week. He also had a couple of flops the 2 starts before that.
Yep.
The team isn't as well around Tyrod Taylor to set him up as Tua has Achane, and he's got Waddle playing well, and he has the every now and then big play from Malik Washington. He's got a Darren Waller now working his way back in. He just gets his right tackle back. The Jets' offensive line is pretty much a mess. Their wide receiving core pretty much a mess. Breece Hall is still there, but what the hell can he do at this point for you by himself?
I mean, he got the 850 yards. He ain't doing nothing.
He's not doing bad, but he's not going to win you the game, right? Like, you need more than that. We saw that. I mean, unless you have a crazy, game by a particular running back on the Miami Dolphins who can run for 100 yards and catch for 100 yards. If you don't have that, that's probably the only reason Miami's winning these games is without Achane.
Most definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Without Breece Hall, the offense on the Jets is a high school team. So I kind of push. I don't love either of these quarterbacks. I think that there's potential, but people who've listened to this show for the past 3 years know that I hate the word potential, because that always means you're not living up to it.
Potential is a word that's gotten a lot of people fired. What was that? I think it was either Madden or Parcells said potential is just a word that means that you ain't done nothing yet.
Yeah, you're good. You're nice.
Yeah. I'm going Tyrod. Running backs.
I don't think it's a question, right? Like, I don't think it's
no. Achane, man. Let's go. Yep.
Yeah.
Especially running back groups too. Jalen Wright had a very good yard per carry last week as well. So going
and the Dolphins aren't even having to use their backups as much as they would maybe even want to, because when you got a hot hand, you got to ride it, right? And your job's on the line and your season's on the line. At this point, if the Dolphins lose again, they're packing up.
And then, like I said, Breece Hall, I would say no slouch. Their offensive line is actually very good too. So I would expect some Breece Hall action in this game. Definitely, we might do some over unders, but if you can get something tasty on him, then he has been performing. The red zone offense has been terrible. He only has 3 touchdowns, but he has 850 rushing yards. Hasn't been a slouch. Wasn't a slouch last week. The receiver group.
I mean, without Garrett Wilson, it's kind of hard to think
that this is where the money is going to get made for the Dolphins in this game. As I just said, especially the corner group, the 2 outside corners and Minka in the middle is actually rated quite high. I don't want to be disrespectful. This wide receiver group for the Jets, if all 3 of them were not in the league anymore in 3 years, I would not be surprised. That's what we're talking about here.
They have one receiver that's worth his weight, and he's not around.
Adonai Mitchell looked really good last week. Had a great game. Had his first career 100-yard game. He gets open a lot because he's super fast, but he also seems to never be in the right spot. But they did really well last week, so maybe Adonai Mitchell starting to build a little bit. I also want to be respectful. The guy on the other side of him, John Mechie, he was an excellent prospect coming out of Alabama. Came down with leukemia in the NFL, missed 2 years fighting leukemia, came back from that to be a starting wide receiver in the NFL, and that is badass. All respect to him. Unfortunately, not a lot has been happening for him while he's out there. That connection has not developed yet. So the receivers are looking pretty rough here.
And Mitchell's the guy who came over in the Indianapolis Colts trade.
Yes, sir.
as well.
Yep.
So he's a guy, if you think, still learning the system that the New York Jets are trying to work with, playing with. Did he get traded with Fields on his last game, or was it before that? I don't remember when the trade was.
Fields' last game. Well, that was the main game where Mitchell kept breaking open and Fields would just kind of throw it into the bench. And like, what the hell's going on?
So he's on his fourth week in a new team, second quarterback, and still dangerous enough to do something. I don't think he's a one though. I don't think he's meant to be a one. And so, with the Dolphins having their one and having their, are we grouping in Darren Waller in this because he's more of a receiving tight end than a blocking tight end?
Darren Waller and Greg Dulcich. Mason Taylor has
Darren Dulcich
here.
So Darren Dulcich,
but old Darren Dulcich over there. Yeah, no skill group, perimeter skill group.
Yeah,
hands down, not even close. And like I said, Mitchell might surprise. He might come out and do some things, but if against this secondary, it looks like it's an overwhelming advantage. Now that I've said that, and we've said that on Dolphins matchup, Tyrod Taylor will go for 350.
Sure.
And,
well, now that you said that, Mitchell's going to turn into Chris Olave last week, right? Going to score, get the touchdown, get the big play. He's going to be the only bright spot in the passing game for the New York Jets. And again, don't be surprised if that's the case.
Offensive line, I want to ask you, maybe you got some scuttlebutt down there, being the Baron of South Florida and all that. What the hell happened with James Daniels, man?
Oh man,
It was
don't
supposed
ask
to be.
me. I mean, he was supposed to be back in my mind before Austin Jackson got into place. And
Mid-October, the original prognosis was 3 to 4 weeks. It's been 13 weeks.
Here's
with
the thing,
nothing, with no update, with no what the hell's going on here?
That's what the Dolphins do. They did it last year with, I forget what's his face, with the quad injury, the guy who fans help me out here. For last year's offensive line came from the New England Patriots. But anyway, that's what they do is these injuries show up and they let you know, oh yeah, it'll be in a couple of weeks. Oh, it's a couple more weeks. And it's until the end of the season.
Just hope you forget about it.
Find out these guys' legs literally exploded under them, in their pads, and they're not able to walk. And that's when we find out what really happens. Fortunately, now, if you're going to mention, Daniels, fortunately, Cole Strange playing well.
Had an excellent game after he had one of the most pathetic showings I've ever seen in the NFL football game. He showed up and had an excellent game this week. Yep. Excellent. In my face. That's what he did. That's where he put it. All hail. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Overall.
So you got your right tackle back. You got Cole Strange coming off a really good game. You've got Aaron Brewer, who I don't think is the number one center in the league anymore, but
it's number 3.
Yeah. He's floating around. And you've got 4 out of the 5 coming off of a good week. Jonas
Savannah had a good week. He had his best game. Savannah had his best game.
Good game. Okay, I'll give you 5 out of 5 coming out of a good game.
Yeah,
coming out of a streak, 4 out of 5. Well, 3, I guess, if you want to count Austin Jackson, only have 1 back. But I think Miami's offense and the way that they're running nasty and making enough hole for Achane to kind of squeeze through and just blast past everybody else. I don't know of a better game that the Jets offensive line has shown or a better series of games.
They're more highly graded. They have a really good pair of bookend tackles, Armand Membo and Troy Fastenau, which is a big deal because it's 2 consecutive first-round picks in the draft. So, they're going to be good at the offensive tackle for a long time.
See what smart drafting does?
The interior, not so great, but still better than the Dolphins. But hey, you know what? I'm with you. The Dolphins are on a streak. The grades don't improve that fast. It's an average, it's an aggregate, and the Dolphins have been excellent lately. So, sure, I'll go Dolphins. Let's go.
I'm talking. Let's just talk about this 5-game stretch. Show me an offensive line that's at least firing off the ball better than the Miami Dolphins. Pass protection. Part of that's on Tua.
There's a couple of 4th and goal plays I'd like to direct your attention to in that Spain game, but other than that,
well, yeah. So, but show me in the past 5 weeks a group that's got it together and getting healthier.
Yeah. So now that we've picked, most of these positions for the Dolphins, undoubtedly it's going to be Going to be 30-14 Jets.
Do you want to know the over-under on Breece Hall?
Yeah, let's go.
69.5.
70
70 yards for Breece Hall. Here's the thing. As well as the Dolphins defense has been playing, how bad they were before that, they are still ranked 29th rush defense. That's how bad they were before, despite handful of good games coming into this week. They're still the 29th ranked rush defense. I don't know if I still don't know if I do 70 on
No, I'm going under.
I still okay. So
because those rankings again, it lags. So
yeah. Before we talk about defense, I think the numbers here are backwards. Over under on Tua. 211.5.
Oh, under. He ain't gonna get 200.
Over under on Tyrod Taylor, 184.5. I think you're right on the under. I don't
know how good I feel about that. I feel like this is going to be Tyrod 180 and Tua 160, whatever.
They don't even let you buy Tyrod Taylor down past 175.
It's tough.
Might as well
especially no. Tyrod's probably going to be under because the wide receiver group against the secondary is overwhelming. Bad matchup.
Maybe now Tyrod's rushing. Let's see if we can pull that up. Tyrod's rushing prop is 24.5. Over, right? Coverage going to break.
For sure.
Coverage is going to cover it up, and the pass protection will break down. He's going to move.
For sure.
Over. And the Dolphins don't love rushing quarterbacks, so over.
I hate it. Speaking of which, Jets defensive line is not great, but the Dolphins defensive line is the worst. So, given that, I'm going to have to go Jets defensive line. Nobody really having a huge season of note over there on the Jets. Their defensive tackle, Harrison Phillips, has been a stalwart for years and years and years. He's having a real solid season, but other than that, it's pretty spare over there on the defensive line. But once again, the Dolphins are like the worst in defensive line and pass rush. So pretty much automatically.
You're also giving the Jets the edge, even though they traded Quinnen Williams, and now without that big body in there, you're still loving the Jets?
I didn't say love. I said I'm going. Picking a position group over the Dolphins does not mean love. It just means I think they're better than the Dolphins. Linebacker crew, we got the man. We got the best.
Yeah.
We're going with the Dolphins.
The
Jets, especially their outside linebackers, are having terrible, awful seasons. So we can just stretch this right over into the secondary as well.
No Sauce Gardner, no chance.
Yeah, the secondary is pretty bad. Brandon Stevens is having a bit of a breakout season for himself. He's ranked in the top 15, doing a real good job. But the rest of it is awful. I mean, they got Jamal Adams out there in the year of our Lord 2025, nearly 2026.
92-year-old Jamal Adams,
a guy who, it was a laughing stock as far as coverage 6 years ago. He's out there starting for the Jets. Tough times for them. So even in the secondary, didn't think it would ever happen. Gonna have to go Jets.
You're going Jets secondary over the Dolphins?
Sorry, excuse me, Fins. No, Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins over the Jets.
Let's edit that part out. We don't want people thinking you're switching on that side. But how about this? I almost feel bad for Sauce Gardner, right? Starts on a Jets team, just dumpster fire. Gets traded to the league best Indianapolis Colts. Soon as that happens, the quarterback breaks his leg, hobbling out there, and then Sauce Gardner gets hurt. And now, I don't know how high you are on the Jets or on the Colts right now. I don't feel too good about them going into the last leg of the season either. Get it?
Yeah, it's a broken leg, just like the one Daniel Jones has.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know. I think that
still played last week.
Because Anthony Richardson broke his face on a resistance band warming up before the game in week 2 or something. So I don't know I don't think they even have him.
I don't know. I just, here's the thing. You go from Sauce Gardner, you finally get a chance to do something and be a playoff team. And you get out of New York and you go to the Colts of all places. And then it just breaks down when you get there.
Man. Coaching matchup.
Got to go Mike.
Yeah, you got to go Mike.
Yeah,
it's hard to be so vociferous about it just because of the silliness that we see week in and week out. But the Aaron Glenn, the situation up at the Jets has been a clown show. So
you got to, even though I love Aaron Glenn's that little dance he did in that first game they had a lead. That's sweet moves. Is not going to result in wins.
Sweet special moves, teams. But it's not a dance off, so we're going to have to go Mike on this one.
The special teams, the Jets have Nick Folk, who has missed only one kick all year, hit a game winner against the Falcons, but they also had a kick blocked, a field goal blocked as well. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, Jake Bailey, pretty good. Can't complain about Bailey. I won't complain about Riley Patterson either.
Nope.
I guess I kind of push it even.
If that, yeah, push
maybe,
or I go
maybe the Dolphins because we have a kick return for a touchdown.
Yes. So we've pretty much gone all Dolphins at every position. So that means final score 42-9 Jets. No,
yes, I agree. Yeah. No, this is so here we were talking about this before we even pressed record. This, as Dolphins fans probably know, has the feeling of that stupid game that they should win, but somehow don't. I think they win, though. I think they've tried to lose games, and like certain players just don't let them this year. So I don't feel like this is it for them. But I wouldn't be surprised, right? Like I feel like anything at this point for the Dolphins wouldn't surprise me. It's a road game. Isn't the Northeast, and because you live there, isn't it just supposed to be, Russia, like Siberia at this point with some crazy storm going on?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be cold and snowy. That's probably something we need to be taken into account more. Just, it's pretty legendary at this point, the way that Mike McDaniel and this team operates in the cold.
Yeah, and they've got this week at the Jets, next week at the Steelers, so it's not like they can go anywhere else over the next two games. Maybe they finally win a cold game here. Maybe they get lucky and it's not a whole lot of elements. I don't know if you have the weather up on there, what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I just pulled it. It's supposed to be snowy Sunday.
There you go.
Snow in the region.
And I hate seeing the Dolphins wear all white in the snow too. It just looks weird.
Yeah.
I don't love it. So, other elements where I think make it a low scoring game, like take the under. I feel like this is a 17, I don't know, one of those weird games, 17-11, 17-9, where the Jets get some field goals or something like that, and the Dolphins should win.
I'm going to go 17-14 Jets.
Still under.
Until they show me they can win in this kind of a weather with a team that's kind of starting to get it together a little bit, until they prove to me that they can do that, I'm a big data trend guy. A+ in stats. I'm going to teach stats someday. Data trends are where I'm at, man, and they haven't done it until they show me they can.
Agreed.
I can't go with them.
I can't argue with you.
We already did a little bit of Boulder Bowl.
Did a couple of Boulder. We got a couple more here. I give you a couple more here. Let's see if we can find some fun stuff for our listeners to play along with.
Well, while you're looking, the obvious one every week, Tua. The Tua line. Tua interceptions or less.
Tua interceptions or less. Oddly enough, his over-under is only a half. Even though he leads the league, he's tied for the league in interceptions.
Too easy.
I almost feel like you got to take that, right?
No, absolutely.
2 interceptions or less? No, I don't think he throws 2. Might throw 1. Maybe this is the game where he doesn't put himself in a position to make a stupid play because of the elements. Wind, you don't know. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not going to be able to throw it more than 20 yards anywhere. And so I go under the 2, but I go over the half on Hard Rock Bet.
He's throwing 2. He's throwing 2, and he's not going over 160. This weather, this situation, no, absolutely not.
What else you got for me? Over 212, right?
No,
take the
hell no. Hell no. How many times this season has he got? No, come on.
Longest pass completion by 2.
Yeah, if he'll get 212 if he has 67 attempts, maybe.
Here's the number. Longest completion. I think you got to take the under on this right now. 33.5 yards.
Is that air yards or just completion?
It doesn't matter. Completion, largest completion, longest. So he could throw it to Waddle for 5 and he runs for 30.
Yeah,
and
I
you
can
win.
see that happening. I could definitely see that happening because it's going to be screen game all day, unless Mike McDaniel, sometimes Mike McDaniel, but as long as good Mike shows up, as common sense Mike shows up, no, it's going to be screen passes all game. And that is the only chance that Tua is throwing a pass over 33 yards. All right, man, when he lobbed that junior bacon cheeseburger up in the air, I was, the second it left his hand, I was sitting there like, no, and it landed right where I knew it was going to land.
Yeah.
Just ever so softly into the arms of the defender. There was like 3 of them in that area too. My goodness gracious. Stinky.
Devon Achane will have more receptions than Jalen Waddle. Right now, the over-under is 4.5 on each. Had 5 against Washington, 6 against the Bills, 6 against Baltimore, 5 against Atlanta.
And it's gonna be a check down heavy game. So yeah, no, I think I'll go 5. You know what? Now that you've said that,
you're gonna say Achane's gonna get more receptions than Jalen Waddle.
Yes, okay. I think Waddle will get 4 and Achane will get 5.
Totally believe it.
And then Darren Dulcich will be 3 each. And that'll be the completions. That'll be it.
And that's it. And then we're done. And there's your 17
what's
points.
The number? Okay, what's that? It's 9 plus 6, 15 completions. Yes, that'll be it. We'll be lucky
actually
to have that.
Not bad reasoning. It's not terrible.
I don't hate it. We hope you guys don't hate seeing possibly another Dolphins win. I know there's a lot of conflicting feelings right now because we're jumping up into those in the hunt graphics, but then it's also go ahead.
We're talking about it. We said we were going to wait a week. The week has changed. If the Dolphins win, hear me out. If the Dolphins win, that will be a big chance for them to get, that'll be their 6-7 mark. Baltimore plays Pittsburgh.
Yep. Somebody's going out in that.
Unless they tie, one of those will be 6-7.
And then the Chiefs have a real tough matchup that they might put them at 6-7 against the Texans.
Correct. So who do you prefer? Dolphins play Pittsburgh next week. Pittsburgh could be 6-7. Dolphins could be 6-7. Or since the Dolphins lost to Baltimore, would you rather Baltimore lose that game, Pittsburgh somehow win it, and that'll give you a better chance in the standings?
I'd rather Pittsburgh loses, and then we got a chance to put them away next week. If the Dolphins win this, I'm always going to go with that type of an approach where I don't want, I hope you do bad, and I hope I need all this help. No, put me in a situation where it's me against them. I whoop their ass, they go home. That's the situation that I'm always going to pick. So yeah, I hope the Steelers lose this week, and then it's mano a mano. Loser leaves town in the steel cage next week.
The bigger problem is against the Bengals with Joe Burrow back.
Yeah, that's and they'll also be trying to claw their way back in, but who knows what's going on with the standings by that point. And you know what? At some point, like, damn, man, you're gonna have to beat a real team. Like, sorry, like you're gonna have to go out there with your lives on the line, with their lives on the line, and walk over them and beat a real team. Like, it's gonna have to happen at some point, or what do we even? This is all an exercise for nothing. We hope it's not, and we hope you guys are back here listening to us talk about another win in a big matchup with the Steelers next week. This has been Dolphins Matchup on DolphinsTalk.com. Let's go, Dolphins fans.